Hello and welcome back to Down the Shore Homestead. If you've been following the channel, you know that I do a ton of research trying to find you recipes of items that you can make at home to replace the products that you buy in the store. Not that long ago, I showed you how easy and how much cheaper it was to make homemade yogurt at home instead of buying the product in the store. What we're going to do today is I'm going to show you how to turn that homemade yogurt into homemade cream cheese. And it's so easy, you're probably going to say, why haven't I been doing this all along? So if that sounds like something that you might be interested in, stick around. And as we say around here, let's go down the shore. Thanks for sticking around. In the video I made recently, I showed you all how to make homemade yogurt. Now, if you don't have the homemade yogurt already made, because you haven't watched the video yet, which I'll link at the end of the video, you can use store-bought yogurt. It needs to be unflavored, and I suggest whole fat. It'll just give it a better consistency when the cream cheese is all done. Now, you can use no fat or low fat, but I can't guarantee that the consistency will be right when we're all done. What I'm going to do now is show you how easy this is. All you need is some cheesecloth, and I just bought this at the local grocery store. I heard that you can use milk towels or something like that, but for now, this is what I have. You can also use coffee filters. So if you use a coffee filter, I'm only using, this is approximately a cup and a half, so this is like 12 ounces of yogurt. So I figured that by the time I'm done, it'll end up with about 8 ounces of cream cheese. If you watched my video and you made like a whole gallon of yogurt or more than the amount that I made, you'll just end up with a whole lot more cream cheese than what I'm gonna make. So basically, you take a coffee filter or cheesecloth. Now, I should have mentioned, not only do you need the yogurt, but you're gonna need some twine, the cheesecloth, a strainer, a bowl, and some scissors to cut your cheesecloth if you're only going to make a small amount of the cream cheese. Now, if you're going to use like a gallon size, you're probably going to need 2 cheesecloths to do this. But for me, I'm only going to need 1. What I'm going to do is lay the cheesecloth over the strainer. And the reason we're putting the strainer over a bowl is the whey from the yogurt is going to leak out into the bowl. So what I'm going to do is put my yogurt into the strainer. Oh, I should also mention that if you're going to make this cream cheese from the homemade cream cheese that I showed you how to make, it's best to let the cream cheese sit for like 2 weeks so that it really has a chance to enhance the flavor of the yogurt to make it taste more like cream cheese when you're done. If you purchased, say, a 16-ounce jar or 32-ounce jar of store-bought yogurt, you don't have to worry about waiting the 2 weeks. You can make this right away. So now what we do is we wrap all this up, pull it all together, and you can see that it's already starting, the whey is already starting to leak through. Oops. And actually, see, this is why I say epic failures and successes happen on this channel. It looks like I need to double up the cheesecloth because the yogurt is leaking all the way through, not just the whey. So hold on, let me double this up. I'll be right back. Okay, so I doubled up the cheesecloth and I cleaned out the bowl so that you guys can see that now it's just whey that's leaking through onto the bowl. Well, that's straining through into the bowl. So what we're going to do is we're going to take all of this cheesecloth, we're going to bring it all together, and then what I'm going to do is tie a knot with some string around the cheesecloth so that we can tie a spoon to it, a wooden spoon. I'll tie this wooden spoon to it so that we can hang it over the bowl so that it can strain overnight in the fridge. So hold on, I'll be right back. Okay, so So I tied the cheesecloth with the twine, and if you ask any of my friends, they'll tell you I am not crafty at all. So this doesn't look as good as some of the videos that I've seen, but it's working because the whey is dripping out into the bowl. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this in the fridge for 24 hours, and then I'll come back and I'll show you how to finish the process. So stick around. So I was cleaning up and I totally forgot to mention that if you're using coffee filters to strain the yogurt in, so start off with one. If that's not enough, do two until just the whey is coming through and not the yogurt. And then instead of wrapping it up and tying it, all you have to do is put another coffee filter on top just to keep things from getting into it. So all you have to do, because you can't hang it from a spoon, just put the coffee filters, pour the yogurt over it, put a coffee filter on top in the strainer, and leave it over the bowl and put it in the fridge for 24 hours. So again, I'll see you back here in 24 hours. Okay, so it's been 24 hours and I pulled the bowl out of the refrigerator, and what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna take the wooden spoon off of the cheesecloth, and I'm going to open up the cheesecloth, and then we're going to put it into another container with cheesecloth. Now, before I said you could use a milk towel, and what I meant was a flour sack towel, which I've ordered because these cheesecloths can't be reused. They basically are like one and done, and the flour sack towels can be washed and reused. I'll actually put two links in the pinned comment below, one for a better version of the cheesecloth and one for the flour sack towels. It just depends on what you want to use them for. So I'll give you two options in the pinned comment below. So let me just get all of this unwrapped and I'll be right back. Okay, so I opened up the cheesecloth and I just want to show you guys the consistency that it is. See how it's really thick? And it's basically, they call this yogurt cheese. I haven't used it like this. I'm sure there's other recipes out there that you could use this. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take all of this yogurt out of the cheesecloth. I'm going to put it into another bowl before I put it into my final product bowl. And I'm going to add salt to this. But if you wanted to add herbs to this, this is the point that you would do that at. So stay tuned. I'll be right back. Okay, so now I'm going to add the salt to my yogurt here that I pulled out of the cheesecloth. And basically, it's kind of like however much you think you need in your cream cheese. If you taste this right now, it's going to taste like yogurt still, for the most part. And this would also be the time that you add in any herbs that you might want into your cream cheese. Or fruits, if you want like a strawberry cream cheese, this would be the time to add any of those additional options for your cream cheese. But since our family is small and I just want plain cream cheese for now, I'm just going to put this into my cheesecloth covered container. Actually, I think I'm going to get my spatula. So now that I have my spatula to help get everything out of the bowl, I'm going to pour this into my container, which actually, I think this container is going to be too small. So because I really want pressure on this to push out the rest of the whey, so let me get a smaller container. Okay, so I got half the size of the container. And now I'm going to put my yogurt into this container. And then what you have to do is kind of spread it around. It doesn't have to be perfect, but you kind of want it pretty even. If I can't get enough pressure on this lid, I might have to put something else over this. There's too much headspace with this lid. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to find something to put over the top of this, and then I'm going to put something heavy on it so that we can get the rest of the whey pushed out and onto this cheesecloth for our final product. So hold on, I'll be right back. Okay, so this is what I found, and if you've been following the channel for a little while, you know that there are failures and successes, and sometimes you have to adapt. So what I did was I have a container here of a nut mix that I had that was empty, so I added water to give it some some heaviness, and then I'm going to add in a can to push down even more pressure onto this. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this in the fridge for 7 days, and I'll come back and show you the final product. So again, sometimes you have to adapt to the situation and make do with what you have, which is what this whole entire channel is about, being more self-sufficient. So I just found things around the house that would work for what I was trying to do. So hopefully you learned something from that. And I'll see you back here in 7 days. Okay, so it's been about 5 days. And as you can see, I had the can on and the container of water on to get the rest of the whey to come out of the cream cheese. And you're not going to be able to see this, but the cheesecloth is actually quite damp. So we definitely got the whey out of the cream cheese. And I'm going to show you guys what this looks like. You have to remember that I didn't do a very big recipe because I'm the only one that eats cream cheese in my house. So this is a perfect amount for me to use for a week. So I'm just going to cut into this and show you the consistency. Let me come over there and show you better. So that is the consistency of the cream cheese. And I think what I'll do is I'll take a little tiny bit right here, and I'll just taste this tiny bit. Wow. That is like really, really good. That is like the best cream cheese I've ever had, and it's not even flavored. It just has salt in it. So I'm definitely going to make my own cream cheese from now on. It's very dense. It's very flavorful. It has a lot of cream cheese flavor. It's just, this is delicious. That is really, really good. So if you really like cream cheese, I suggest you definitely make this yourself, because this tastes better than any other cream cheese that I have ever had. And I've had a lot of different brands. So I would call this a definite success. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like this video so that it gets pushed out for other people to see. And don't forget to put some hearts in the comments below so that Rocco knows that you guys want to see him in the videos. And don't forget to share this out for anybody else that might want to learn how to make their own cream cheese. And if you want to see more videos like this one, then don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so that you get all future videos. And I'll link the yogurt video up here and the subscribe button over here so that you can watch the yogurt video to make that first, and then you can come and watch this video to make the cream cheese from that. So hopefully you enjoyed this, and we'll see you next time. Rocco, are you patiently waiting for mommy to finish the video? Say thanks everybody for coming around. We'll see you next time.